I'll try to slow it down.
No,
I'm sorry if I'm going too fast.
no. It's all good. It's all good. Just a bit of a side tangent. How long have you been
Mhm.
doing like development for?
So I started working on my Linux distribution Derive. I think maybe it's been 4 or 5 months now. It's
Mm.
been not super long, but maybe about half a year if I had to make a
Mm.
guess. And then I think this Wayland stuff is at most 2 months old. I
Mm.
think. Um, it kind of started because I was using my first Linux distribution I used when I was developing Linux stuff was Arch,
Mm.
uh, and then one day my Yay stopped working
Yeah.
because a shared library had disappeared from my system
Yep.
after an
Yep.
update. And I started to get like radical. I was like, what are these shared libraries here for? What is the point of this? I still, by the way, to this day, I don't understand what the point of a shared library is. It doesn't seem simpler in any way. Um, so then I installed Alpine. I was like, okay, this is much better. But as I wanted to get like a desktop working Alpine, and then like all these dependencies start coming up, like dbus and like random GTK stuff. I don't want this. What is this? So I was going through every dependency. I'm like looking at it, like, why do I need this? And I just realized you actually just don't need any of this. Like, okay, dbus. It's evil. It's like so evil. I'm pretty sure they made dbus to like make me angry.
Right.
Like, I don't think there's another reason to make software that bad. It's like completely undocumented, like utterly undocumented. Also, the protocol itself, not only is it undocumented, but it's also like a poorly designed protocol, and it's like the most complex non-solution to an absolute non-problem. Like back in the day, in the glory days of Unix, when I was like a pre-fetus, uh, they decided that like you have two processors and you want to communicate with them. So
Mm.
obviously, when you're communicating two things, you do it directly, and that's like the simplest, the most effective way to do inter-process communication. But somehow we've stumbled upon this idea that we need like this ultimate mediator written in like C++ that's incredibly slow, that with object method calls. I don't even know what that means, but so you have a process that makes a call on an object, and then dbus like sends that to the other process, and all that does is put a notification on your screen. Surely we could have thought of a better way to do this, right?
Mm.
So I'm trying to the aim of my distribution is to remove all of that bad stuff that I
Right. Right.
hate passionately, and do a Linux that's like simple, not for you but for me,
Right. Right. Right.
like like simple conceptually, maybe hard to set up, maybe a pain to use, but conceptually very simple.
Hmm. So if I'm understanding it right, like you're basically you're this is a story that's been told many times. We have a young developer who is convinced that he can do everything better than all of the people over the past 40 or so years.
I'm gonna try my best. Okay, I'm
Fair
gonna I'm
enough.
gonna try.
I respect it.
Um, like when I was so it started off like the goal was I just want a small statically linked userland, and the original compiler I was using was GCC,
Mm.
and I had like some GNU stuff on the system. And then over time, as I was developing it, I started to get like radicalized. Like all these like GNU dependencies kept popping up.
Mm. Mm.
You might see on the website the fifth point is that the system is almost 100% GNU-free. I
Ah,
guess I
yes,
guess
yes.
everyone knows what GNU is. They're like a software project. They use a license called the GPL. The guy Richard Stallman he has a long beard and he dresses funny. You might have seen a picture of him. Um,
Yep,
they
that's
make bad
true.
software. They make very bad software. Now, so Microsoft, who are not GNU, Microsoft are a different company. They make Windows.
They do.
They have this. They have this. What's the word strategy they like to
Oh,
do called what is it like extend, expand, extinguish. But the idea is they take something, embrace, extend, extinguish. They
yes,
take
yes,
something,
yes.
they embrace it, they extend it, and then they destroy it. So Richard Stallman was like, okay, I can do this, but instead of charge people money for it, I'll do it for free. So he took Unix, even though he doesn't even like it. He said multiple times that he doesn't even like it that much. He extended it by adding all his like extensions, right? And
Uh-huh.
then he makes everyone use them because there was no really other option. The GCC was a free compiler, now everyone is going to use it. And then now everyone is stuck using all this GNU stuff with a GPL license, and we're stuck here forever. It's crazy, right?
Oh,
Crazy.
that's gonna annoy someone. Oh,
I know That is probably the take that I have that gets people to hate me the most. I don't know why. It's just my opinion, man. Some of the GNU stuff is not even that bad. Like GCC and Clang, like they're both large, angry, annoying compilers. Um, now everyone's stuck. Like the main thing that's annoying is uh, Bison versus Yak. I don't know. Do you know Yak? So Yak is it was like an original Unix tool. Yet another compiler. It's a tool that's used to make parser tables to parse things that you can use to make a compiler or to make another thing.
Right.
So the reason that I started to GNU made their own version of Yak called Bison. I don't know why it's called that. They like things with horns. I don't know.
Yak, bison, animal naming.
Oh, the yak, the animal. I wasn't thinking about that because it's spelled with two C's. The actual program. Yeah. That's actually. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I was compiling libxkb common, which is the X keyboard library, which is also used on Wayland. They really should rename it. We should start a petition. Please rename it. I was compiling that, and it says you need Bison to compile the. I forgot even what it was, but you need Bison to compile this to create one of the parsers for it. And I looked back in the commit history, and it used to support Yak, and they just deleted it, and now it only supports Bison. I was like, I just started to get so confused, like, what, why? So I patched it back in, and it worked fine. And that started this journey of like, why are we using all of these extensions that are non-standard that GNU invented when the original still works fine? So that's another thing I'm trying to do in my distribution is work through all this software with GNU dependencies and like just sort of rip it out because we don't need that. Well, I think we don't need that. I know people really hate when I say this. Like I posted on Reddit like a screenshot of my distribution. I was like, no GNU was used in the making of this screenshot, and then someone like commented like, "You're an edgelord. You know nothing about software. Your distribution will be dead in a year." By the way, though, I might have quit by now, but now you said that, I have to keep doing it out of spite, like just for the next year.
Yeah.
People, I don't never really understand this, but people really hate when you say bad things about GNU.
With the exception of Bash, people are like totally fine with you saying like, I want to do everything in POSIX script, but anything else, don't touch it.
Don't touch it, yeah. I mean, even some of the like more like crazy people distributions like Devuan, where they patch everything, they also still use GNU stuff. But with Bash, people hate Bash because the extensions they added like so not good. Like they don't really fit in a shell scripting context, like arrays and stuff like that. I mean, it is kind of useful. There are times in my life where I'm like, gosh, if only I had some GNU C extension, it would make my life a lot easier. But I don't use that. So, like I said, I like to make my life as inconvenient as possible. Yeah.
So you say almost 100% GNU-free. What is left over?
The only thing that is currently a dependency in the repository is GNU make, which is it's very, very hard. I'm trying to get this replaced, but it's very, very hard to replace GNU make because it started off as like the tool people use to build software made by GNU, and then they added a few extensions. But really, it's kind of evolved. It's like a build DSL domain scripting language. Like it is like a whole language of build system. Like the Linux kernel build uses kbuild. Kbuild is like an abstraction layer that generates like loads and loads and loads of GNU make files. It's really hard to replace that. It's really hard. Ideally, what I would like is something that parses the GNU make file and outputs a Ninja build file because it's a lot faster and better. Google did try and do that to speed up Android builds. It's called Catty. I think, yeah, it's called Catty. I tried it. It's pretty cool, but it's like really hit or miss, and it's a C++, which I don't know how to work with really. So I'd like to do something like that, but not in C++, and works like for everything, absolutely everything, and then I can destroy and put a big banner on the website, 100% GNU free. It'll be amazing. But yeah, that's my plan for what I'm working on.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
We kind of went on a tangent. This is supposed to be mostly about Wayland, right?
I don't know what this is about.
Yeah, I don't know either. I can talk about some of my plans for Wayland stuff I want to do in the future.
Sure, yeah.
So I recently stumbled upon the website. I'll try and find the link. I don't remember. But so have you heard of Oasis Linux? It's another project made by Michael Forney, who originally made SWC. It's a project I'm pretty inspired by.
Right.
It's all statically linked, very good. Someone made a system with Oasis Linux and an SWC custom compositor, and they put it on a Pine phone, and I thought that was awesome.
That's
I don't have a
okay.
Pine phone. I want to do that. So I looked on the guy's website, and he said, I used to have this all on my personal Git repository, but I accidentally deleted the VPS, and it's all gone. So the idea was cool. So I'm going to try and maybe do something like that. I do need some funds to buy a Pine phone, but I'm sure I can get something worked out. Right now, I have an iPhone because my parents paid for my phone, but I'm sure I can buy a Pine phone, right? And then I'm going to try and get my distribution with a mobile compositor and work on some like sort of mobile UI stuff. This is like quite a recent idea. I only thought of it like 3 days ago, but I think that'll be awesome, right? Um, Linux phone support has like been evolving silently but pretty well. You can make calls on it. You can do camera. You'll never be able to do banking because the world has just sucked.
Yeah,
But
that's like they do have like very what's the word? I'm forgetting the word. They don't want it to be run in a very specific environment. I'm forgetting the word.
yeah,
A tested
well,
environment. That's the word.
I think it would be cool if I could get like a sort of simple suckless Linux phone with a cool mobile Wayland compositor. So that's something I want to do. And the other thing I want to do is I started a bit of work on this. Someone else is make a compositor that represents all the windows as in a 9p file system. You know, 9p is the protocol that was invented for Plan 9. Nowadays, it's been delegated to like QEMU and WSL. It used to be a cool network file protocol. Now they just use it for like to make Windows and Linux work together or something. But I want to make a Wayland compositor where all the windows are represented in a 9p file system, and instead of having like keybinds that are like preset and hard coded in the compositor or hard coded in a config file, you just interact with a 9p file system in some way, and that manipulates the windows in that way, which kind of makes it an easier or less, shall we say, less secure way of interacting with Wayland Windows. So that's something that I want to do as well.